Our further education and training colleges face numerous challenges, as well as they are forced to use low-speed, high-cost connectivity options as there is no interconnecting network. Therefore, our further education and training institutions are unable to reduce operational costs, to develop skills and access central information. In 2006, the then Department of Education requested support from the government of the Netherlands in order to develop and pilot a business management system for FET colleges in association with an FET college sector management information system for the department. A grant of 2 million euros was received, and the project commenced late in the same year. Through a research-based assessment, it was agreed to procure and fine-tune an off-the-shelf integrated education management software system for the FET college sector. The system has been developed and piloted in 3 colleges and is in use in 6 colleges around the country. A further 4 FET colleges will be supported under the same Netherlands government grant to start the implementation of the system this year. The importance of the system is that a total of 203 business processes have been integrated into the system for the improved management and governance of our colleges. Again, the major constraints in rolling out the system to all colleges are the connectivity costs and the maintenance and support costs. Currently, the Department of Higher Education and Training hosts the database in a central environment for the colleges, but colleges have to cover all the licensing fees and connectivity costs. Open and distance learning. As the Department of Higher Education and Training, we are currently working on a framework document for the provision of open and distance learning services in the country. We have identified distance learning as the only option to bridge the education divide due to geographical location. The issues to be addressed in open and distance learning are financial resources, intellectual capital, and sustainability, as well as the standard and quality of the delivery. The implementation of a fully inclusive open and distance learning system in South Africa and the continent at large will require further investment into the educational ICT infrastructure. Again, the need for high bandwidth connectivity for educational institution is imminent. Another famous project which a lot has been said about, the Teacher Laptop Initiative. In our context, in our country, the Teacher Laptop Initiative's objective is to ensure that every teacher owns and uses a laptop by providing them with a monthly allowance which will cover the purchase cost as well as the cost of connectivity. The ICT package will consist of appropriate hardware and software as well as internet connectivity, all with prescribed minimum specification. And of course, based on what we have learned from yesterday, it is clear that ongoing training and support for teachers is crucial, so as to change their mindset, take away the fears of the use of ICT, having not grown in an ICT era. The eSkills Council is another strategic policy position of South Africa. The World Summit on the Information Society declared that acquiring skills and knowledge is essential in order to understand, participate actively, and benefit fully from the information society and the knowledge economy. The Presidential International Advisory Council on the Information Society and Development in 2007 decided that South Africa should prioritize the establishment and functioning of the eSkills Council as well as the operationalization of the Miraka eSkills Institute. This recommendation was in realization of the perpetual challenge of the skills shortage in South Africa. The eSkills Council provides advisory services on ICT trends and programs that will have a measurable impact on ICT-related skills and encourage economic development in South Africa. It was launched in 2008 by the Minister of Communications. And I think it's very, very important for most private sector providers to be in touch with this institute, which is under the Ministry of Communication, so as to assist us to see the results quickly. The Miraka eSkills Institute is expected to be fully operational by 2013. Our belief is that it will provide diversified, unique e-skills education and training programs, achieve change by acting as a catalyst to achieve information society goals, play a leading role in orchestrating existing and new initiatives around e-skills, and undertaking an advocacy role. Also be a stimulus for research and innovation, also enable innovation that responds to the development needs of the South African society, and also collaboratively leverage existing capacity and resources. The eSkills Institute has established a memorandum of understanding with some of our higher education institutions so as to develop a broad curriculum, research, policy development, and demonstration base for innovative work. These institutions have eSkills knowledge production hubs which assist the eSkills Institute to address the massive eSkills deficit. The other one is the launch of the bid for the Square Kilometre Array project. The government of South Africa has taken a bold step by putting forward a bid for hosting the Square Kilometre Array SKIA project on the African continent. The 15th ordinary session of the Assembly of the African Union on the 27th July 2010 in Kampala, Uganda, expressed unreserved support for the bid and acknowledged the importance of science, technology, and innovation emanating from the SKIA project in the development of our knowledge-based economies and its ability to drive human capital development programs. Further, the Union called on member states, the Commission, and regional economic communities to fully cooperate with the Republic of South Africa on this project by providing the necessary support for this bid. Therefore, it is opportune for me to take advantage of this distinguished audience and appeal for support for our bid. I think it is the highest commitment any government can make in the advancement of technology in the continent. The South African Minister of Science and Technology, Ms. Naledi Pandor, attended the Square Kilometre Array meeting in Canada last week, where she provided an update on South Africa's readiness to host the Esquire project. Another important initiative is the SEACOM and Easy Undersea Cable Network. South Africa's telecommunications infrastructure has improved significantly over the past few years. Two undersea cable networks, SEACOM and Easy, have increased available bandwidth that has contributed to faster internet speeds and lower prices. In April this year, the West Africa Cable System undersea cable reached South Africa. This means that by 2012, more than 15 terabytes per second of capacity will be available when the combined capabilities of SEACOM, Easy, Works, and ACE go live. It is a 128-fold increase compared to the available capacity in 2009. And again, in this one, there are ample opportunities for the private sector to cooperate and participate with governments. Your Excellencies, the cost, sustainability, and efficient utilization of ICTs are key elements that will determine ICT's future as an effective tool for promoting access to quality education. If we are to realize the full potential of ICT on the continent, the following needs to be in place: policy and careful planning, infrastructure, equipment and ICT tools, professional development of educators, enthusiastic educators, appropriate curricula, institutional flexibility and monitoring and assessment systems, technical support, and of course, collaboration across the continent. South Africa is making strides into the information society, and we are determined to take full advantage of the digital age. The overarching strategy is to ensure that out-of-school South Africans are exposed to centers of learning, specifically ICT, acquire skills in line with our industrial strategy. The ultimate output is to create a critical skills workforce. My department will be exploring creative and innovative funding mechanisms to ensure the effective and efficient utilization of ICTs for education, training, and skills development. In this regard, we'll be looking very closely at the public-private partnership model developed by our National Treasury to leverage private sector skills and financing of our strategy. We have called for a goodwill on the part of business, industry, state-owned enterprises, and municipalities to provide and create a learning culture that keeps pace with technological changes. We are fully aware that in order to maximize the benefits of ICTs for the continent, we need to work together as African countries. An example of possible cooperation we could explore as policymakers is how ICT can enable twinning agreements between our education institutions. This initiative has the potential to unlock transfer of technology through innovations and research. In closing, I just want to refer to what President Zuma said during the 14th Ordinary Session of the African Union Heads of State and Government Assembled in 2010. He recognized ICT as a weapon which should be utilized to consolidate cooperation efforts within the continent. He made a call thus: we have seen how ICT has changed the world. We have seen how it has contributed to global economic expansion. We have seen how it has served to make the world smaller, closer, and increasingly interdependent. We need to harness that power to unite Africa, to defy the borders that constrains our growth. We need to harness that power to shrink the distances that separate us from each other and from the rest of the world. We need to harness that power to advance African independence and self-sufficiency. The use of ICT in education is the hope for future generations, especially for the African child. I thank you.